morning, beautiful people. How are you all today? I hope you're well. I'm well. Recovering. Today is the day after the day before. Well, obviously. No, it's the day after I was doing my bean harvesting. And the reason I say about recovering is, I kind of mash my knees up a bit. I get so involved, I kind of forget to listen to my body. Anyway, I'd done the bean harvest, and as you saw from that last video, I had all the plants outside the shed for me to then strip the beans off. And I got it done just in time because literally I was just taking the last couple of pods off and it started to rain. The rain wasn't forecast. Never mind. I managed to get all the beans into the shed in the dry, great. And then in the rain, chopped up all the detritus from the plants, went and mixed it in with all the grass clippings, as I mentioned. I might show you that today, I'm not sure, but anyway, the point is, after I'd done all that, wriggle, after I'd done all that, my knees were really killing and letting me know, so I thought, it's raining, it's getting chilly. The main focus of the day, well, there were two. I'd got my community work done, I'd got the beans dry and safe, so I thought, go home. Now, the reason I'm back today is, well, it's twofold. Yesterday when I was in the shed sorting out all the beans, I was just looking, I've got so much stuff in here in terms of harvest, mainly lavender, but all the lavender, the onions. I need to start thinking about shifting this stuff home so I can process it, namely the lavender. And with the onions, I can start to think about, well, not stringing them up this year because most of the necks had disappeared because I was so late harvesting. But what I'll do is I'll just hang them up in turtle bags, you know, the sort of cotton shopping bags, so they'll still have plenty of air circulation. But yeah, having looked at all this, and thought about the harvests which are still to come, which will come into the shed, I suddenly thought, you know what, my 2 or 3 times a week visits here and taking things home, I'm not keeping on top of getting stuff home, so I'm going to just try to come every day and get a bit more of this home with me each time and keep picking the tomatoes because they're still coming. But that's one of my reasons for dashing down today. I've woken up this morning. It's cold. It's really cold. I don't know what the temperature is now. Oh, it's about 14 degrees. Now, I knew we were due a temperature drop last night. It was forecast to get down to 6. I don't know what the actual temperature was. I don't have a thermometer, sort of a maximum minimum thermometer in the garden. But it just gave me a little bit of a concern this morning because it really did feel chilly. And the reason we're in here is because there's an absolute hoolie blowing out there. So I thought, well, if nothing else today, I'm going to literally harvest every ripe or ripening tomato that I've got. The ripe ones are going to hopefully be turned into sauce this afternoon. Any that aren't quite ripe, I'll put in the window to see if they'll finish ripening. I've got a feeling that there are so many tomatoes to bring home that they will fill my granny trolley. So yet again, it will be another day of going home without taking any of these harvests. So chilly. By the time I got here, my nose was running. And for some ridiculous reason, this never happens. I haven't got a handkerchief with me. So I've just gone into one of my baskets and grabbed, this is a serviette. Such pretty fabric, isn't it? I love this fabric. This fabric, for any of you who bought my bunting 2 years ago called Gardenois, you'll recognise this fabric. The bunting was called Gardenois because this gorgeous special fabric was bought well, my sister and I were in Paris. It was a lovely, quickie weekend to take my nephew there because he'd always ragged me that I couldn't really speak French. So I was like, I'll show you. Come on, let's have a weekend in Paris and then you'll see me speaking French. Anyway, yes, so it's a serviette, but it's cotton. It'll do for my nose. Now the other thing, oh morning Rusty, hello gorgeous. Just on my way here, oh, it got my giddy goat. So in my area, it's great. People often put out stuff in their front gardens, by their front gates, and, you know, put a label on, take me, please take me. We're going to have trouble now, Rusty is here. Well, you can tell from the tail. Yes, people put all sorts of stuff outside their houses, you know, jam jars, books, kids' toys, laundry baskets, you name it. And it's great. I've had rich pickings from it. It's wonderful. And it's usually sort of contained within the boundary of their garden or on the front wall. Hang on a second. He's such a pest. I didn't want him getting onto the counter because I've got something to show you there in a second. Yeah, so there's all sorts of stuff goes outside houses, and I'll always have a little look. Ooh, is this something I can use? And actually, as I was walking down, one of my neighbours was outside her front putting a load of wood out, and she asked me, did I need any of it? And actually, I don't have any projects on the go at the moment, or in the foreseeable, so it's not, none of it was, I would like some, oh, now Rosie's at it. I would like some wood for supports for plants, but none of what she had was suitable. Anyway, the thing that gets my goat, fly tipping. I'm just keeping an eye on Rosie. Oh, Rosie. Hang on a second. Take 3. Yes, fly tipping. So annoying. I don't know what you call it in other parts of the world, but basically it's when people dump large bits of rubbish in a public place, such as a footpath, in a park, that sort of thing. It's just a vile, vile, disgusting habit some people have. The fly tipping I've just seen now, I will report on a website called Fix My Street. I don't know if that's all over the UK, but you can report fly tipping there and they'll come and sort it out. Fridges, freezers, that sort of thing. Now, if it's a fridge or a freezer, I'll dive in there and I'll have the shelves out, because they're, you know, fridge shelves, useful in the garden. But on this occasion, it's 2 mattresses. It's just, it does my head in. Our council will take a mattress away for you. If you've got a mattress to dispose of and you don't have a car, access to the dump, that sort of thing, such as me, they send you a sticker, quite a big sticker, and you put it on the mattress and it says for council collection or something, and they give you a specific time and day to put it out on the street so that it gets taken. Here's the thing. Typical zero money spent gardener, or as near it, I was walking along afterwards and I was thinking, how could I use a mattress in the garden? Surely there's a way I can use a mattress in the garden. We're all the same, aren't we? We're always looking for someone else's rubbish that we can use in the garden. Anyway, after 5 minutes of humming and hawing to myself and thinking about it, I decided, no, there isn't a way for me to use a mattress in the garden. It would be a new definition of garden bed, wouldn't it? Anyway, what an eyesore, and what a shame I can't use it in any way. Right, I'm going to make this one a quick one today. I've got 2 things to show you, and then for me, I don't think I'm going to take you out there today. It's way too windy. My priority is get all those tomatoes picked, get home and roast them. But also, the other thing I didn't finish yesterday was taking down one of the rows of bean arches. So I'd like to get that done today. It'll probably take me, probably best part of an hour by the time I've snipped all the strings off and tidied and cleaned them up. Can you hear? You can hear my gym chimes going. So yes, great, get those done. I'm also going to be harvesting some more calendula seed today. So I've brought some calendula flowers in to show you flowers and flower heads, seed heads. I thought I'll bring them into the shed to show you so you can see the different stages and the kind of optimum stage for picking for seed saving. I was going to do it out there and show you, but I think they'll just blow away and my words will blow away too. So let me show you those first, and then I've got something really exciting to show you. Right, let's reposition and we'll go for take number 4. So here we have 4 stages of a calendula flower going from flower to seed. This, of course, is the beautiful flower stage. Mine is still flowering away, and actually I've got so many seed heads now, I think I will do another harvest of flowers for my bombs, etc. Yeah, I normally stop harvesting the flowers around about sort of beginning of September, just to ensure I leave enough to go over for seed. But yeah, I've got plenty for seed. So there's our flower, lovely. Now it then starts to go over to produce its seeds. So you can see on this one, it's still really quite green. You can see the last couple of petals are just hanging on. And let me try and show you in here. Where are we? Right inside. You can see the sort of the green curls inside. That's our seeds forming. But as you can see, it's all still very, very green at the moment. Give it a couple of weeks and it goes like this one. So any last vestiges of petals have now gone completely. There we go. And you can see those green curls inside are just starting to turn brown and starting to look a bit dry. You could, I suppose, harvest at this stage, but the seeds, they're still not quite fully mature. The ideal that you're looking for is this. So brown. So you can see the entire head, everything on there is brown. And at this stage, this is perfect for harvesting. You can either snip it off. I've only snipped this off for demonstration purposes. But actually what I do is, I think this one, I will literally, actually, how can I do this because it's going to go flying. Light's an issue, isn't it? I literally go along the bed and I'll just rub the flower heads as I walk past, obviously with a bowl underneath, and you see they literally fall out. So that's still on the plant, still in the bed. All of this falls off into my bowl. Now you've got 2, let me show you, see if I can put it in my hand to show you more closely. You see this little curly, let me show you on the immature head. So this little curly is actually from the outside of the plant. It's these around the outside. That's not seed. Whereas the much smaller one that looks like a little, I always think it looks like a little fossilised poo, that's your seed. So having gathered them all, I just gathered them all together, everything's in together, and then one evening, or over several evenings, I will sit with the tray separating these 2 bits. This lot will then come back to the garden and go in the compost, and whoopla, that will go into my seed jar, seed saving packet. Yay! So I hope that's helpful for anyone who hasn't saved their calendula seed before. I've got a tray of it here that started last week. So you can see it's all mixed in together. Oh, it's going to be a joy to separate. So in about another 2 to 3 weeks or so, I'll have about 4 or 5 trays of like this, all full, all waiting for me to sort on a chilly winter's evening. But it's the sort of stuff, do it whilst watching a film, listening to the radio, listening to a bit of sport, ooh, listening to a bit of tennis. And, you know, the other thing is, if you haven't got time to separate all the wheat from the chaff, as it were, when you come to sowing, just chuck handfuls of it all in, which is what I do sometimes when I get fed up of sorting them. Now, this is the other exciting thing I wanted to show you. No, it isn't my collection of fake moustaches. This was given to me yesterday. They're a little bit wilted because they've just been sat here, but these were given to me yesterday by Joy. She's the lady who gave me the Churchill black seeds. Look at the colouring. Isn't that fantastic? The light's pretty poor in here today. Let me angle it. Look at astonishing colouring. Beautiful purple. She handed these to me. She apologised for them being bent. I suppose it's kind of end of the season stuff. But yeah, look how rich these colours are. I've never seen a bean like it. So we've been speculating, quite a few of us, about what these are. Is it really called Churchill Black? We do think so, and I think hopefully it's clear from here. Can you see the texture of the pod? Look down the spine of the pod. Hopefully you can see from this, it's definitely a runner bean of some sort. It's definitely got those kind of, what do you call it, the stringy, tough edges. The beans themselves, as I showed you the dried black beans the other day. Oh, look, smiley bean. The beans themselves, yes, they look like runner beans too. It's just this colouring. So what I'm going to be interested to know, obviously we're not going to find out for at least a year, is will the beans hold their beautiful black colour when they're cooked? So often we get these sort of lovely sort of pink, purple, whatever beans, and by the time we cook them they just look like a sort of a grey mush. So I'm hoping they do retain their black, because I think it's lovely when you're having a mixed bean type salad or whatever to have lots of different colours. It's nice to have different colours, different shapes of beans, different textures. So yeah, I am beyond giddy. I'm going to make them all smiley. Let's take the straight one out, but yes, this is going to be my smiley, happy face next year when I get to finally plant them. They kind of remind me, I don't know, do they remind me of some sort of like a cartoon iguana's colouring or something, a cartoon chameleon? Maybe we should call them the chameleon blacks, I don't know, but yeah, I think that's absolutely gorgeous and really quite striking. Oh, I can't wait. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is Gardener's Delight. A few Gardener's Ecstasies and the Unknown Orange. And this is my kind of mixture of Amish paste, Get Stuffed, the self-seeded plum, Gary's Gorgiosity with the nose. Does it look like Gary? Hello, Gary. Hello, viewers. Wow, I wasn't expecting to pick quite so much today. There's 2 layers as well in there. Isn't that such a happy sight, though? Wow, 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 wow. And there's still loads more to come. There's tons that are green. Yes, what to do? What a great harvest. Again, I haven't kept track of the weights of my produce this year. I did it once about 6 years ago. It's fascinating. And then I did it again last year. So I did my little tot up. I think it was sometime in November. There's a video on that in last year's playlist. I kind of wish I'd done it with the tomatoes this year. I do think it's been their best year ever in terms of, you know, just bulk of harvest. So at the moment I've got about the equivalent of 60 tins of chopped tomatoes, all processed. I've got at the moment about the equivalent of 10 bottles of sauce. I reckon this little lot out there, that's going to do another 10, 20 maybe, I don't know. So yeah, it's been really great. I think it's a combination of things. I always plant them with Epsom salts, and some people say that doesn't work for blossom end rot. All I know is that every time I've done it, I've never had blossom end rot. I experimented 2 years ago with a couple of donated plants that I didn't give Epsom salts to. I wasn't purposely experimenting, I just forgot. And they both got blossom end rot. So as far as I'm concerned, I'll keep using the Epsom salts. The only other thing they've had this year is an aspirin spray. So from about, I would say it was about mid-June, once the plants had just started to get going. So from mid-June right through into the middle of August, about every 10 days or so, they had an aspirin spray, which is one soluble tablet of aspirin, I think it's 325 milligrams, in a litre of water, dissolved, spritz all the foliage. That's thought to help prevent blight, but also act as a bit of a stimulant to the plant. In terms of feed this year, they've not had any whatsoever, because as you all know by now, the only feed I use, I put chicken manure pellets in a bed when I prep it, but after that, in terms of applying feed throughout the growing season, the only thing I apply is my dilute urine. But you know, it's physiology, isn't it? This summer was so hot and dry, I wasn't making any urine while I was here, or very seldom. You know, drinking gallons of water as normal, but generally it was all it was all insensible losses, as in I was losing it through my skin rather than through my bladder. So the few times I was able to make some wee while I was here, I was generally giving it to the beans and the flint corn, because they're both nitrogen greedy. In hindsight, I'm thinking, why did I bother putting it on the beans? I should have put it on the tomatoes. But the tomatoes have obviously done fine without any feed. The only thing I would say this year is, in terms of doing things differently, well, it wasn't really different. I've watered them. I was very, very, very consistent with my watering of the tomatoes. Literally, from the day they were planted at the beginning of June until about the beginning of September, when we've had a couple of showers, literally every single day they've been watered, and well watered. So I think that's obviously massively helped. I think they've enjoyed the heat, they've enjoyed all that sunshine. They would not have enjoyed it if I hadn't been consistent with the watering. There are a few in there now which are split. I think that's a combination of the fact that they were overly ripe, and then we've suddenly had all this rain, so they've swelled and split. Fine, they're coming home, I'll chop them up, chuck them in the roasting pan, and get on with making some yummy sauce. Right, good, that's going to nearly fill my granny trolley, so I'll get the tomatoes home and some more of the dried beans. I've got another 3 bags of dried beans over there that I wasn't able to carry yesterday because my trolley was already full of other dried beans and other stuff. So that's it from me. I need to get back out into it. Really is a blowy day, but I'm going to get back out there, do my bean poles where those climbing beans were. I'll chop up all that material, and I don't have a bare bed to put it on yet, so I'll chuck it in the compost heap, not because I'm expecting it to compost, but just as somewhere to store it for now until a bed becomes empty, and then it can all come out and go on the top of that bed for the winter. So it isn't going to do itself. I need to get out there and get handy with the snippers, because there's a lot of knots holding all those bean arches together. See you in a week. No, I'll see you before then. So for now, cheerio. Have fun whatever you're up to. If it's a holy grotty day, maybe stay in the kitchen and make tomato sauce. Or, even better, eat it. So until the next time, please look after yourselves, look after each other, have fun being creative with your time, and I will see you again before too long. Bye for now.